Yo, what's going on there, YouTube? It's your boy, Marcus Levy, Angry Raider here for a dark walking vlog here for Saturday vlog number 20 in the Angry Raider vlog series. So, one thing I've gotten thinking of quite often these days, and especially now as I'm, 9 or 10 days into this waiting period for the next military thing, which is the interview, medical and psychological testing, which will all be done, I think, at the same appointment once I'm confirmed in for that next step of the game, is it gets me thinking about how drastically things have changed within just the last 8 months. I'll even go so far as to say roughly 9 months. So, I mean, I started out on my own on December 30th, 2019. And here I am now, 8 months further along, and some things, mostly just my general confidence in myself, have definitely gotten way more improved. But of course, some things have, because of Corona, hit a wall. Or maybe just because there are still some sort of, impulse things, like more or less impulse spending and stuff like that I have issues with, that I really need to just sort of chill out with. But it really makes me look at what it is that keeps me going. Like, what is it that is my motivation, but also what has been my problem? Like, in what I'm calling phase 1 of my life, which is basically birth until the day I moved out on my own. Essentially, the major difference between phase 1 and phase 2 of anyone's life is going from being dependent to being independent. As soon as you are completely independent, not just thoughts and actions, but you are not linked financially or even legally to your family, then you officially move into phase 2. And of course, phase 2 is a phase that some people will never move out of, because phase 3 is a lot harder to achieve. And this is something I can go into more detail in tomorrow. It's one of my own philosophical theories, my sort of stages of life, if you will. But when I reference phase 2, I mean I only entered into phase 2 on the 30th of December, 2019, when I moved into this place. But one of my motivating factors has always been having an end goal, knowing exactly when and where the end of the line or end of the road is. All of the bumps and turns and stuff are things that I might not know yet, but the one mistake that I can say that I keep making is planning all of that out all the way to the end of the line. Making a decision and saying, well, I want to see all of this happen. And then one of the hardest things for me to do is for me to... Got an itch. Hold on. There we go. One of the hardest things for me to do then, once I've sort of mentally, verbally committed to all of these things that I'm doing, is backing out of them when they're not what I truly want to be doing. One of the things I've had a hard time with, I think more recently, has been trying to figure out how to tone down my very public personality. It's kind of hard when you have a YouTube channel and you want to keep I know I only have 52 subscribers, you guys are awesome, but you want to keep your people up to date on the things that are going on with you. So you think, okay, so long as I'm, not posting anything, rude or defamatory about where I work or family members or friends or anything like that, and I'm just sort of updating people on the stuff I'm doing, that people will be okay with that. But then you come to realize sometimes the openly public personalities clash with some people, and they don't like that. They don't like the fact that you're constantly talking about wanting to move on and move up, because to some people, you should be grateful for what you have. But when what I have is not where I want to be forever, when what I have is not even where I want to be for the short term, for more than just the short term, it becomes difficult for me to stay motivated, me personally. I'm somebody who is constantly motivated by seeing that there is a next step, there is a better way, there is another thing that I can achieve or do. So you can see where this can be a problem with the fact that, I love what I do, but I've been part-timing for 2 years. And so I get very frustrated and confused with why there's been no opportunity for me to go anywhere. Or at least the several opportunities that I have had have kind of led to dead ends. Or for always interesting reasons. But I have nothing against that anymore. I've moved past those. I no longer hold a sour taste in my mouth about them. But the one issue that I still find myself running into is making this constant mistake of always planning ahead to the end of the line. And so, it actually is very much a new thing for me to do, taking something one step at a time. And with this military process, it's been a bit of a struggle trying to accept taking it one step at a time. Because I'm used to saying, okay, here's the end of the road, here's exactly when I expect to be there, and not having all this time in between. Like, as of right now, I still have no idea when that phase of my life is going to get started. And of course, there are still many hurdles for me to get through, many stages, and it could go really fast or it could go really slow. It's been 10 days or so, 9 or 10 days, and I haven't heard anything back from them. And so they could get back to me next week, like I'm feeling they will. Or they could wait until literally right on the fucking nose and get back to me on like the 29th of August, which is still within their month parameters. It's just at that point, I would assume that I'm not shipping off to basic for the 1st of October then. Right now, I'm still eyeballing a potential hope to get in for October. But I'm thinking because of Corona that they're probably not going to run a session until January. Honestly, that would make more sense. Doing a January session and then doing a January session and then we would basically be doing all the basic training stuff from January through February and into March, and then go and do the rest of our training when the weather is fantastic. I was kind of hoping I'm hoping for a fall session still, just because to me it seems like the easier one to go do. Because then I'd be able to finish it, be home by the Christmas holidays, and then we'd be able to start all of our in-class stuff while the weather is terrible, and they could give us all of our practical experience once the weather starts to warm up a bit come March, April, especially since we have to be out on the coast anyway. But I don't know. Let me know if you guys are very similar to me, because I'd like to know from the Angry Ranter crew, if you guys, or the Angry Ranter Alliance, I don't know how I forgot that name, from the Angry Ranter Alliance, I would like to know if you guys are at all in a similar boat with this whole planning ahead thing. let me know in the comments below. And I know it's super dark. It's because they literally have no lights turned on here at all. I don't know if flipping the phone around made a fucking difference. But I'm going to try to dive a little more into some of my philosophical theories as we go along here, because that's just part of what I'm all about, you know? It's part of what I'm all about. Now, let me see if I can get into the light over here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.